What's up, guys? It's the Warrior COTP back here with another My DVD collection, part 34. Now, today's DVD collection is not random, not sets of movies. It's basically war movies or movies that pertain to war. So, all right, let's get it started. And I did make the lighting a little bit better, so I wouldn't be sitting shadowing the movies while I do it. So let's see if this turns out a little bit better. All right, first we got 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. And this looks like it's Jake Gyllenhaal. And this movie is unopened. And if you're new to my videos, I put this up here like here so you can pause it and read it, at least for a few seconds. And I'm just trying to see if that is Jake Gyllenhaal. If it looks like him on the front. It might not be. It looks like it says it's James Badge. It looks a lot like him now. Next, we got A Bridge Too Far. Now, this is a classic war movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I can't really tell you much about it, but I have seen it. And it has James Caan, Michael Caine, Sean Connery, Gene Hackman, Anthony Hopkins. So it's a lineup of really, Robert Redford, a lineup of really good actors in this. Definitely suggest watching it. Next, we have American Sniper with Bradley Cooper, Sienna Miller. And I have never seen this movie, but I did buy it for future watching. Just haven't watched it. I end up catching myself streaming movies and TV shows more than anything. Unless I really want to watch a movie and I know I got it. It's a plus, especially if I can't find it streaming or for free streaming. Next, we have An Officer and a Gentleman with Richard Gere and Deborah Winger. Now, I'll tell you like this. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. So, unless if I've watched a movie a lot, I will tell you it is good. But unless if I've watched a movie a ton of times, I ain't going to be able to tell you what it's about. But I think that's Louis Gossett Jr. If I'm not mistaken, I think she might have played in Urban Cowboy. Next, we have Argo with Ben Affleck, Bryan Cranston, Alan Arkin, and John Goodman. Now, this movie, I couldn't tell you much about it. I know it was big. I never watched it. But it has a bunch of good actors, so I know it's good. At least entertainment value. Next, we have my favorite TV series of all times made into a movie, The A-Team. And Liam Neeson as Hannibal Smith. Bradley Cooper as Faceman. And Rampage Jackson, the UFC fighter, as Mr. T. And I did like him as Mr. T, but I thought they should have used Ray Lewis as Mr. T. I thought he would have been an awesome Mr. T just because of his character and his personality. And Murdoch, I don't know who they used for Murdoch, but the Murdoch did do a good job, so that's all I can say about that. I'm not bashing Murdoch. I ain't bashing Rampage either. I just thought Mr. T, with his attitude and all. And oh yeah, Jessica Biel's in it too. Next, we have a classic, Black Hawk Down. This is a good movie. I haven't seen this since I had it on VHS back in the day. So, I only watched it one time. So, don't expect me to tell you what it's about. I forgot. Next, we have Casualties of War, Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn. And there was, a few other good actors in this too. I can't really remember who they were. But this is an excellent movie. It kind of shows what people went through mentally in Vietnam. It saw the good nature of soldiers and the bad nature of soldiers. You know, I can't really say much more than that about it, but it was definitely a good movie. I'll leave this up here for you to read it. And it's another classic. Next, we have Donovan's Reef with John Wayne. And this is a unopened copy of Donovan's Reef. Now, I did watch this before. I've watched it one time, and I was pretty young. So I can't really tell you what it's about. I'm sure it's good. Most of John Wayne's movies were good. It looks like James Coburn. Well, no, Lee Marvin. Sorry. But I know it's good. Next, we have a documentary. Fearless Freddy. Your enemy is also your brother. And this movie, or documentary, was made by my friend. I actually helped him make little parts of this, like helping him out do stuff. Like, not like, camera stuff, just helping him, kind of like a roadie. That's my friend right there who made it. Shout out to Andrew. Next, we have Paul Newman, and this is a snap case, and Fort Apache, the Bronx. Now, I guess you could say this is more of a cop film, but I went with the Fort Apache, and here's there you go. Next, we have a snap case of Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. And this is the digitally restored and remastered copy. So Full Metal Jacket is, from my understanding, really close, at least back in the day, of how boot camp is for Marines. This movie's pretty wild movie. It's definitely good. As you see, Matthew Modine, Alec Baldwin, a bunch of other big actors were in it. Next, we got Gettysburg with Tom Berenger and Jeff Daniels and Martin Sheen. Now, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie, but this is a really good Civil War movie. Now we have Robin Williams, and this is the special edition of Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam. Probably one of Robin Williams' most famous movies he ever did. At least back in the 90s and 80s. Great movie. Been at least around maybe 10 years since I've watched that. Next, we got Matt Damon in Green Zone. Now, I can honestly say I've never watched this. But it's Matt Damon. I'm sure it's decent. Now, this is one of my favorite Army movies, Hacksaw Ridge. And this is based on a true story. And this is from Mel Gibson. He directed it, just like he directed Passion of Christ. And this movie is a war/faith-based movie. All I would say is watch it. And it's a true story. So, you know, it's not like it's false. It's not like it's made up. Great movie. That's the main actor. Great movie. Next, we have Heartbreak Ridge from the Clint Eastwood collection. And this is a Snapcase. Like I said, I know there's like all the Clint Eastwood movies on a Clint Eastwood collection, at least up to a certain date of his movies. And I have a few that I found throughout the years just randomly at thrift stores. But I have a good bit, I think, but it's not all of them. Trust me on that. But I do have this movie on Heartbreak Ridge, another good movie. Classic film. And let's read some of the actors there in it. We'll look at it. Yeah, great movie though. Next, we have A Complete History of World War II. The thrilling story of the greatest conflict ever. And this is a 5 DVD set. Now, one thing I will say, just like only God can judge you and my beliefs, I also feel like a lot of people that make these documentaries have biases and say one thing and something might be different, but, you know, 80% of it might be true. You know what I mean? So you got to always go in these just with an open mind and, you know, just take it for what it is. Do your own research. You know, man can rewrite history. Just remember that. But, yeah. Next, we got Hamburger Hill. Another classic Army movie. This used to come on a lot when I was younger. Now, I wish I could tell you who is in this. And that's off of there. Now you guys can read it better. But let's see if we can. So this is from 1987. I knew it was a little bit older. Maybe you might recognize some of the people that are in this. But yeah, good movie. Definitely suggest watching it. Next, we have Brad Pitt in Inglourious Basterds. This is a Quentin Tarantino film. This movie was awesome. They were basically like a put together unit, at least in the film, that went in just to kill Nazis. Awesome movie though. Well directed. Alright. Got another stack coming. Next, we have John Travolta and The General's Daughter. Go Behind the Lies. I have seen this before. Only once. And I cannot tell you what it's about, but you guys can read it. Next, we have one of my favorite war movies, The Great Escape. And this is also based on a true story. And this is Steve McQueen, James Garner from the Rockford Files, Richard Attenborough, Charles Bronson's in this. The cast is awesome. James Coburn's in it too. But yeah, this movie is awesome. I love this movie. And Steve McQueen did all the stunts in this movie, all the bike riding. See, supposedly he was a good stuntman too. And Steve McQueen, he died at a somewhat early age, and his son literally just died recently. He was in the original Karate Kid, and I think he was also in the Cobra Kai series too when he got older. But his son, I forgot his first name, but it was also McQueen, if you want to look that up. But yeah, but like literally he just died within last week, I was reading. Next, we got Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher in The Guardian. Now, I like both actors. More or less Kevin Costner. But I've not seen this. And this looks like not a war movie, but it's all right. Next, we got The High and Mighty with John Wayne, widescreen, special collector's edition, 2-disc set, restored and remastered. I cannot say I remember watching this movie, but I do like John Wayne movies. But there is a good chance I did watch it when I was younger. Alright. Next, we have The Hunt for Eagle One. And this is looks like Rutger Hauer's in this, which he passed away recently himself. Mark Dacascos and something Randall. But never seen this movie. Like I said, for a while, if I saw a war movie, I would buy it. And I am not an advocate for war, trust me. It's just that, you know, history is interesting. War sucks, people die. Next, we got Fox War Classics, The Longest Day with John Wayne. And I recognize him. I think his name's Mitch or something. We'll look on the back and find out what his name is. It doesn't say. It's weird. But yeah, I know he's played in a bunch of movies. He had a real big butt chin. Next, We got John Cena in The Marine, unrated. Now, I got this movie before I watched it, and I watched it probably about 3 months ago or something. And, you know, I'm always weary about watching wrestlers' movies just from watching a lot of Hulk Hogan's movies from the past. No offense to Hulk Hogan. I love Hulk Hogan. But I actually like this, even for as low budget as it was. I did enjoy this film a lot. As you see, it had the bad guy that played the Liquid Terminator from Terminator 2 in it too. Next, we have a slide case of The Messenger with Woody Harrelson, Ben Foster, and Samantha Morton. Now, this is another movie I've never seen, but I do like Woody Harrelson a lot. I've enjoyed many of his movies. Matter of fact, one of my favorite comedies is Kingpin that he played in. And I loved him on Cheers when I was younger. Next, we got Three Kings. And this is a stacked up cast. You got George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and Ice Cube. And it's also a snap case. And I'll tell you like this, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. Good movie though. Next, we have a unopened copy of a movie I bought called Washington. And this is about George Washington. But one thing I will say, just like I was saying earlier, you can't always believe. There's always two sides to a story people try to portray of people. And it's kind of sad because you'll never really know the truth. You can more or less find out the truth in people's like writings and stuff like that and their actions. Yeah, I got this to watch it one of these days. But I think you can actually watch this on YouTube for free. Next, we have Nicolas Cage in The Windtalkers, from the director of Mission Impossible 1 and 2. Never seen this movie. Not that I'm aware of. But I do like Nicolas Cage in most of the movies he's in. I do like. This movie is one of my favorite war movies. I would suggest anyone to watch this. This movie is about a man that was overseas, and I think maybe Italy or something, and then his wife and his kid were part of a basically like a coffee shop bombing. And after that happened, he knew who did it, and he went into the spot that those people were and shot all of them up. And then he basically couldn't go back to the U.S. Army, so he joined the Legionnaires. Then when he joined the Legionnaires, so he could start a new name, new identity, stuff like that, he saw some corruption going on within the Legionnaires and stepped in and did the right thing. And then all of a sudden he became wanted by the Legionnaires. So basically the whole movie is a man that's making decisions that he thought is right and being chased for them, even though he was right or wrong. Great movie. I don't ever think this was a big movie by any means. If anybody's seen this before, let me know what you think of it. But this is literally one of my favorite war movies, I guess you could say. It's so deep, you know what I mean? So next, we got Tom Berenger, Sniper. I love this movie. It was definitely one of my favorite war movies. Shows basically the stealthiness of a sniper and how it operates. Pretty cool movie if you've never seen it. And I think Billy Zane's in this too. Yeah, Billy Zane. Great movie. And as you saw in my prior ones, I had two other Snipers movies, I'm pretty sure. They're not in this collection because I already had, these are like front movies. So they're not in the collection. Just like I got another Alamo. They're not in the collection because I didn't have room to put them in there because they were like aftermath of, you know, being in there. So next we got Alamo with Dennis Quaid, Billy Bob Thornton, Jason Patric, and Patrick Wilson. Now, I still need the John Wayne Alamo. That's the last one I need. Which one of these days, hopefully I get it. Next, we have the Bang Bang Club. And this is Ryan Phillip, Malin Akerman, Taylor Kish. It's not always black and white. I've never seen this movie. Looks pretty good though. Next, we have a classic, The Dirty Dozen. Now, this is another movie that was pretty much stacked with good actors. And we'll look at who those actors were. We have Lee Marvin, which he was on the front. Ernest Borgnine, Charles Bronson, Jim Brown, the football player, John Cassavetes, Richard Jekyll, George Kennedy, Trini Lopez, Ralph Meeker. Next, we have The Eagle Has Landed. This was a all-time classic war movie. This had Michael Caine, Robert Duvall, and Donald Sutherland. And this is based on Jack Higgins' bestseller. And don't think I'm smart. I'm reading this off the cover, of course. This is a World War II film. But I know it's good. Next, we have In Harm's Way with John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. Now, I have seen this back in the day. Now, there it goes. Camera was going blurry. Just trying to get a good shot in case you guys want to read it. Next, we got another Clint Eastwood collection. Kelly's Heroes. And, of course, Clint Eastwood's in this. Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas from Kojak. Don Rickles, one of the funniest men alive. Carol O'Connor from, I forgot the TV show. And Donald Sutherland. And this is also a snap case. And here's the pictures from it. Next, we have Max, Art, Politics, and Power. One of the best films of the year. And this has John Cusack, Noah Taylor, Tyrese Sortiski, and Molly Parker. And this looks like a World War II based film. And I've never seen this, but I like John Cusack. I'm sure it's decent. Next, we have Memphis Belle. I have watched this. This is a Snapcase. It's been a while, so don't expect me to remember what it's about. Looks like it's about maybe World War II and, you know, the Air Force. Let's see who's in it. If you can read that. Matthew Modine, great actor. Eric Stoltz, Tate Donovan, Davey Sweeney, Billy Zane, Sean Astin from the Goonies, basically, plus many other movies. Definitely suggest that movie. Next, we have a all-time classic, Robert De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr. And this movie is inspired by a true story. And this is basically about the Navy SEALs training and stuff. It's basically, I guess you would say, the Full Metal Jacket for the Navy SEALs. But great movie. Definitely a classic. Next, we have Moscow Zero with Vincent Gallo and Val Kilmer. Moscow Zero. Now, this is a movie that was pretty popular. I never got around to watching this one, but I definitely heard of it. I remember it when it was out. Next, we have Operation Petticoat with Cary Grant and Tony Curtis. Next, we have a classic film, and this is a Snapcase. This is Platoon. Best Picture in 1986. The first casualties of war is innocence. And this cast is awesome itself. And I'll read them off. Put that there so you guys can read what it's about. Alright, so who is in this? We got Tom Berenger, William Dafoe, Charlie Sheen. And that looks like it all gives us there. What a great film. Next we have The Proud with Ozzie Davis and Stephen Rea. And I've never seen this. But I like Ozzie Davis. He is that old black guy right there. Next, we have Sands double feature with Sands of Iwo Jima and Flying Tigers, and both starring John Wayne. And I've seen both of these when I was younger. Don't expect me to tell you what they're about because I don't remember. I just know they're war movies. Watched these when I was very young with my dad. He was a big John Wayne fan. And last but not least, we have Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, Matt Damon, and Tom Sizemore. And 5 Academy Awards. Best Director in 1998, Steven Spielberg. And this is the special limited edition of this movie. And definitely a very good movie. I think most people will tell you that that's seen it. Try to get this as close as possible so you can read it. Alright guys, so this was definitely a little bit more movies, I think, than usual, maybe a few more. But I appreciate you watching. If you're new to the channel and you made this far, thanks for watching. And I guess maybe you liked it. Hit the subscribe button, the like button. Stay tuned for other DVD collections or past DVD collections I've done, or even eBay or Goodwill hauls. Until next time, thanks. Peace out.